I'd like to tell a story today about a real Berkeley hero. I'm wearing my Berkeley blue and gold tie, and as many of you know, I not only am waist deep with 2 degrees, one in economics and one in law, but all 3 of my children, Marta, Michael, and David, attended Berkeley. And when I left for Berkeley, my mother was a retired school teacher on a pension. And my dream was to go to Berkeley, make something of myself. And I didn't have enough money for my second semester's tuition. But I met an extraordinary man who arguably touched more lives among the Berkeley student body and was more influential in Berkeley than anyone else. And that man was named Fred Stripp. Fred Stripp was the director of forensics at Berkeley. And I marched into the forensics office. I had been an active debater in high school. And I said, Dr. Stripp, it's a pleasure to meet you. You're looking at the new Berkeley varsity debate #1. And he laughed. And they had a tournament coming up in Sacramento, the Governor's Cup. And he said, well, all right, John, let's see what you got. I went and debated with my partner and won. One in varsity and one top speaker. And that hadn't happened for Berkeley in a while. And Fred Stripp, called me in and he said, John, we have a number of full tuition scholarships and you've earned one. He had to take it away from someone. But the first lesson of the law is if you get something, somebody else isn't going to get it, that it's a meritocracy. And among other things, Cal had the Voltaire, which was founded by Baron de Coberlin in 1895, which dealt with French affairs. And he'd set up a number of bilateral school-to-school debates, and Cal Stanford was still going. It was tied 30-30 after 60 years. And Dr. Stripp came to me and he said, John, you are Berkeley #1. So I want you to represent Cal in the Voltaire. And I had the pleasure of debating in front of Wheeler Auditorium. And I won. And I have a beautiful bronze medal, which is one of the most precious things that I have. But I'd like to shift the discussion a little bit to my hero, Dr. Stripp, because Dr. Stripp said, let's have a congratulatory lunch at the faculty club. And here's a little bit about Fred Stripp. He was president of the UC Berkeley student body in 1939. He joined the faculty and he got his doctorate in theology because that's what he got a scholarship for. And he ran forensics at Berkeley for well over 30 years. And Dr. Stripp, among other things, was the first president of the NAACP in Berkeley. And not only was he president of the NAACP in Berkeley, but he ran for mayor on a fair housing platform. And in fact, there was a white millionaire who didn't believe in fair housing and in fact wanted to support restrictive housing that wouldn't allow people of color to come and live in the student housing, whether it was fraternities or apartments and whatever. And Dr. Stripp lost. He lost 24,000 to 22,000 to the white millionaire. But he was a real leader. And among other things, he performed over 3,500 wedding ceremonies for various students. But the thing he told me in that meeting really should guide everyone that has a heart and that wants to get into the legal profession for change. And when I asked Dr. Stripp about all the energies of running for mayor, and I said, well, why did you do it? He said, well, John, it was the right thing to do. He said, you don't always evaluate whether you're going to win or lose or what the percentages are. What you look at is what you're standing for important, and can you make a difference in that area? And that was something that struck very clear to my heart, because that is what law is about. That is what plaintiffs' attorneys are about. And when the civil rights laws were first passed, it didn't mean that instantaneously bigotry ended. In fact, somebody had to have the courage to walk into that sacred ground in front of the jury and punish the people who were violating the law, whether it's people that are discriminating against elders, or people of color, or women. And in fact, I'm very proud to be the kind of person that is a member of the very proud plaintiffs bar that is out there fighting for rights. Fred Stripp has now passed away, but I did want to, on Cal Day, pay my deepest respects for the man that taught me it's not about the percentages. It's about, is it important and can you make a difference?